Governors County Court, law number 2 is back in session. First case is cause number M331630. Case is style of state of Texas versus Daniel De La Fuente. Please come forward. Mr. De La Fuente, your full name is Daniel De La Fuente?
Yes, sir.
How are you doing, Mr. De La Fuente?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Would you please raise your right hand? Mr. De La Fuente, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth so help you God? You may put your hand down. Mr. De La Fuente, I have before me a document that is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
And are these your initials on the line stating that you want your case reset to hire your own attorney? Now, Mr. De La Fuente, before you sign and initial this document, did you read the document? Did you understand what you read? And is everything in this document true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Okay, Mr. De La Fuente, your case is going to be reset by our court coordinator. Please have a seat in that first chair by the wall. And then when she's ready for you, she's going to call you up to her window. And once you finish at her window, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. The cherry away. Your full name is Cherry Wade? Isherika Wade? How you doing, Ms. Wade?
Good.
I'm doing fine, Ms. Wade. Would you please raise your right hand? Ms. Wade, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth so help you God? Okay, you may put your hand down. Ms. Wade, I have before me a couple of documents. The first document is titled The Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without an Attorney. You recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? Or are these your initials on the line stating you want to apply for a court-appointed attorney? Also, I have a document that is titled Jefferson County Affidavit of Indigence. Do you recognize this document? And on page 4 of this document, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant Signature. Is this your signature? Ms. Wade, before you sign and initial these documents, did you read the documents? Did you understand what you read? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Okay. Ms. Wade, based on your answers, you meet the eligibility requirements for the appointment of a court-appointed attorney. And the attorney that will be appointed to represent you in this case is Attorney Ryan Matuska. Actually, Ryan Matuska is in court today. That's the gentleman sitting at that table right there. Our court coordinator is going to give you information how to contact Mr. Matuska. He will also be giving information on you. Obviously, if Mr. Matuska is here, if you decide, if y'all would like to talk today, y'all can. Now, I do also have some bond conditions that I need to give to you. Ms. Wade, would you please step here? And you can step back. Now, Ms. Wade, you've just been handed a document that is titled Standard Bond Conditions in County Court at Law number 2. That's the title. Do you see that title?
Yes, sir.
I will go over these bond conditions with you. And it reads as follows. Following arrest and or accusation in County Court at Law number 2 of Jefferson County, Texas, all bail bonds executed for release of any defendant herein or order subject to the following additional conditions. Number 1, the defendant shall commit no offense against the laws of this state, any other state, or of the United States. Do you understand that condition?
Yes, sir.
Condition number 2, the defendant shall submit to testing for drugs and alcohol at any time as directed by the court. The court may revoke the bond and order the arrest of any defendant who A, refuses to submit to a test for drugs and alcohol when directed to do so by the court, or B, submit to a test for drugs and alcohol and the test indicates the presence of drugs or alcohol in the defendant's body. Do you understand that condition?
Yes, sir.
And condition number 3, the defendant shall not communicate either directly or indirectly with the alleged victim of the pending offense, and the defendant shall not go near any school, should not go any near residence, school, or other location frequented by the alleged victim. Do you understand that condition?
Yes.
Now, condition number 4 does not apply. That only applies in the DWI case. Your case is not a DWI case, so that does not apply to you. Now, if you violate any one of these conditions, your bond can be revoked. And if your bond is revoked, a warrant can be issued for arrest and you can be placed in the Jefferson County Jail.
Okay.
All right. Now, our court coordinator is going to reset your case. Once your case is reset, you're free to go.
Okay.
And you talk to your attorney as well.
Thank you.
All right, just have a seat in that right there. Next case is cause number M334144, case of style of state of Texas versus Elton Hayward Grubbs II. Your full name is Elton Hayward Grubbs II?
Yes.
Mr. Grubbs, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Grubbs, do you swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes.
Mr. Grubbs, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Grubbs?
I'm great, yourself?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking, Mr. Grubbs. I have before me a document that is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. You recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes.
Or these your initials online stating you want to apply for a court, well, that you would like to this case reset to hire your own attorney? Now, Mr. Grubbs, before you signed and initial this document, did you read the document?
Yes.
Did you understand what you read? And is everything in this document true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Grubbs, I've read your answers. Your case is going to be reset to give you an opportunity to hire your own attorney. Now, before we do that, I need to give you some bond conditions. Step right here. And you can step back. Now, I will go over these bond conditions with you. The title is Standard Bond Conditions in County Court Law Number 2. Do you see that title? And it states as follows: following the arrest and or accusation in County Court Law Number 2 of Jefferson County, Texas, all bail bonds executed for release of any defendant named herein are ordered subject to the following additional conditions. Number 1, the defendant shall commit no offense against the laws of this state, any other state, or of the United States. Do you understand that condition? Condition number 2, the defendant shall submit to testing for drugs and alcohol at any time as directed by the court. The court may revoke the bond and order the arrest of any defendant who A, refuses to submit to a test for drugs and alcohol when directed to do so by the court, or B, submit to a test for drugs and alcohol, and the test indicates the presence of drugs and alcohol in the defendant's body. Do you understand that condition?
Yes.
And condition number 3, the defendant shall not communicate either directly or indirectly with the alleged victim of the pending offense, and the defendant shall not go near any residence, school, or other location frequented by the alleged victim. Do you understand that condition? Now, condition number 4 does not apply to you because it only applies in a DWI case, and your case is not a DWI case. Now, Mr. Grubbs, if you violate any one of these bond conditions, ma'am, that door is locked. Now, if you violate any one of these bond conditions, your bond can be revoked, and if your bond is revoked, a warrant can be issued for your arrest and you can be placed in the Jefferson County Jail. Do you understand that condition? Okay, do you understand that? Now, Mr. Grubbs, our court coordinator is going to reset your case. Once your case is reset by our court coordinator, you'll be free to go. You have a blessed day. Please have a seat at that first chair by the wall. All right. Dravon Duhon. This is cause number 234, excuse me, cause number 23CCCR 0070. Okay. Your full name is that Dravon?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Duhon, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Duhon, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Duhon, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Duhon? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Duhon, I have before me a document that is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that is titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
And are these your initials on the line stating you want to waive your right to an attorney and to represent yourself? I also have another document here. This document is titled Waiver of Counsel for Purposes of Entering a Guilty Plea or Proceeding to Trial. Do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? Now, Mr. Duhon, before you signed and initialed these documents that I just showed you, did you read the documents? Did you understand what you read? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Okay, so Mr. Duhon, just go back and have a seat where you're sitting, and we'll have our prosecutor who's in the conference room. He's going to come out and talk to you in a few minutes. All right. Okay, next case is cause number M334306, case style of state of Texas. It is 20. Next case is style of state of Texas versus Richard Anthony Damon. You, Mr. Richard Anthony Damon?
Yes, sir.
No, it's Damon. It's
Ah.
after Damon.
Oh, it's Damon? It's pronounced Damon? Okay. Now, who are you?
I'm his wife.
Okay, now, does he need some type of assistance or
Yeah.
something?
Mhm.
And now, Mr. Damon,
Damon.
okay. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay, now, Mr. Damon, how are you doing? And ma'am, and what's your name?
Millie Damon.
Millie Damon? Miss Damon, how are you doing?
I'm doing okay.
That's good. Now, Mr. Damon, I have before me a document that is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
And is this your signature online that's titled Defendant?
Yes.
And are these your initials online stating you want to apply for a court-appointed attorney?
Yes.
I also have another document here. This document is titled Jefferson County Affidavit of Indigence. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
And on page 2 of the same document, there is a signature above the line that is titled Defendant Signature. That's your signature.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, Mr. Damon, before you signed and initialed these documents, did you read the documents? Or did you have some assistance with filling out these documents?
Yes, assistance.
Okay, and then the assistance that you had, did you understand everything that's in these documents?
Yes, sir, pretty much so.
Okay, you say pretty much so. Now, I see, let me do this here. Now, this first document states that, and I think I read this to you. Hold on, let me do this here. The first document states Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. On this one, you said you want to apply for a court-appointed attorney, and that's what you want, right?
Yes, sir.
So you understand that. All right. Now, the second document is the document that you have to fill out for the court to see whether or not you qualify for a court-appointed attorney. Do you understand that? And now this information, it asks for your name, your address, phone number, date of birth. It asks for whether or not you're married or single. It also asks whether or not whether or not you rent, own a home, reside with family members, or if you're homeless, it also asks for your monthly income and your monthly expenses. Okay, and all of that, this information was read to you and was filled out. Okay, now is everything in this document true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Okay, now is everything in this document, the one that says you want a court-appointed attorney, true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Okay. Now, Mr. Damon, based on your answers in these documents, you meet the eligibility requirements for the appointment of a court-appointed attorney. And the attorney that will be appointed to represent you in this case is Attorney Marva Provo. Attorney Provo will be given information about how to contact you, and you will be given information about how to contact her. Our court administrator, she's going to give you that information in a few minutes. Once you get that information from the court administrator, you'll be free to go, and you and your wife have a blessed day. Now, I also have a document. Oh, I need to get this to him. This is I'm gonna go over this document with you. That's standard bond conditions in county court at law. Oh, you know what? Yeah. Excuse me. That's standard bond conditions in county court at law, number 2. That's this court. Okay, and it basically states that standard bond conditions in county court at law number 2, following arrest and or accusation in county court at law number 2, all bonds executed for release of any defendant named herein are ordered subject to the following additional conditions. Number 1, the defendant shall commit no offense against the laws of this state, any other state, or of the United States. Do you understand that condition? Condition number 2, the defendant shall submit to testing for drugs and alcohol at any time as directed by the court. The court may revoke the bond and order the rest of any defendant who A, refuses to submit to a test for drugs and alcohol when directed to do so by the court, or B, submit to a test for drugs and alcohol, and the test indicates the presence of drugs or alcohol in the defendant's body. Do you understand that condition? And condition number 3, the defendant shall not communicate either directly or indirectly with the alleged victim of the pending offense, and the defendant shall not go near any residence, school, or other location frequented by the alleged victim. Do you understand that condition? Okay, now condition number 4 doesn't apply because that only applies in a DWI case, and this is not a DWI case. So you're gonna have y'all can have a seat in those 2 chairs by the wall. Oh, no, she's finished. You can go straight to the window and she'll give you a reset. Once you get your reset, y'all will be free to go and y'all have a blessed day. Ambriana Sykes. Your name is Ambriana Cornell Sykes.
Yes, sir.
How are you doing?
I'm good, right?
I'm doing fine. Would you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth so help you God?
Yes.
Okay, you may put your hand down. Now, I have before me a couple of documents. First document that I have before me is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
And are these your initials on the line stating you want to apply for court-appointed attorney?
Yes, sir.
The second document that I have is titled Jefferson County Affidavit of Indians. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
On page 2 of this same document, there is a signature above the line that's titled defendant signature. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
Now, before you signed and initialed these documents, did you read the documents? Did you understand what you read? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir. But I have a question about if I want to represent myself with my court date have to be reset, or would it be resolved today?
You'll be able to talk to the prosecutor today, and it may or may not be resolved today. It depends on if y'all come to some type of agreement.
Can I change it then?
Yeah, you can check. You hand that to her? We might have them, yeah. Okay. Okay. Okay, so, let's do this here. Now, I have before me a document that's signed Jefferson County Affidavit of Indians. Well, I have before me judge's explanation of rights to defendants without an attorney. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
And are these your initials on the line stating that you want to waive your right to an attorney and represent yourself?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, your case, you'll be given an opportunity to talk to the prosecutor. So just have a seat where you're sitting and you'll have an opportunity to talk to a prosecutor. Let me get this.
Thank you.
All right. Herbert Devon Raleigh. Your full name is Herbert Devon Raleigh. Mr. Raleigh, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Raleigh, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Raleigh, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Raleigh? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Now, Mr. Raleigh, I have before me two documents. The first document is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. Mr. Raleigh, do you understand this document? I mean, do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that is titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials on the line stating that you want to apply for court-appointed attorney? I also have a document here that is titled Jefferson County Affidavit of Indians. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of the same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled defender signature. Is that your signature? Now, Mr. Raleigh, before you signed and initialed these documents, did you read the documents? Did you understand what you read? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Mr. Raleigh, I've read your answer. Based on your answers, you meet the eligibility requirements for the appointment of a court-appointed attorney. An attorney that is representing you that's appointed to represent you is Attorney Nathan Reynolds. Attorney Nathan Reynolds will be given information on how to contact you, and you will also be given information on how to contact him. Our court administrator is going to give you that information. Once you get that information, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day. You want him to have a seat?
Yes, sir.
Just have a seat at that first chair. And